Good morning, everyone. Now, building on what we have learned with the Indriya Bhavana and adding on to the knowledge that we have on Indriya Bhavana and the workings of the mind, with the recent study that we have done over the Prapancha Dhammas, Prapancha Sankharas, we will focus on the Indriya Bhavana today, as we will watch and observe, owing to the sense experience, that is, when we observe whatever object through the five senses or the mind, the proliferating thoughts that arise, the Prapancha Dhammas that arise, and in our observance and awareness, in our sati and samadhi, how we begin to then not give in to the cycle of thought arising and passing constantly, one after another, how we continue along our awareness. That will be the practice and exercise for today. So if you take a deep breath in, breathing out, settling into your meditating positions, relaxing mind and body, relaxing mind and body, as we gently guide our awareness and attention, our focuses to the present moment and all that is of the now. Observing the breath for a few moments, using the breath as an anchor, to have our breaths, our attention, unified in observation and awareness, relaxing the whole body, letting go of any form of stiffness, any attachment caught up within the stiffness, just letting it go, easing the body, relaxing the body, as we gently observe the breath, the rise and fall, the rise and fall. Observe closely, being with the breath through the process of arising and passing. Observe, observe, observe. Whatever disturbances there might be, not looking at these experiences as disturbances, but allowing it to fuel your energy, to go deeper into the present and focus with the breath. Relaxing mind and body deeper and deeper. Gently, gently guiding our awareness from the breath to the idol, from the breath to the idol, and whatever silhouette of light that you might be able to see, whatever experiences of the sense door that arises, through the coming together of the sense consciousness, the sense base, pasada rupa, and the sense object brought in with the light, taking place because of contact that arises, phassa. Phassa. This sense experience arising at the idol is conditioned, dependent upon many things, and is moreover impermanent in nature. Allow whatever experiences of the sense doors to arise and pass away in its own time. In its own time. As we gently practice the skillfulness of vipassana, knowing that the sense experience takes place because of contact, phassa. It is dependent upon each factor to arise. It arises for a certain time and passes. It is impermanent. There is nothing to cling to, no thought to be given, but can be experienced. Can be experienced. Gently guiding your attention from the eyes to the ears, observing. Sense experiences arising at the ear door. Again, because of phassa. Gently conditioned, dependent upon many things. And it is impermanent. Nothing to cling to. No deeper thought to be given. Allowing the sense experience to simply arise and pass away without any form of clinging or attachment. No second thoughts given. As it is a manifestation of contact, phassa. Gently, gently, gently. Gently guiding your attention from the ear to the nose door. All the sense experiences that arise at the nose door gently, gently, gently arising and passing. They are conditioned, dependent upon so many factors. Impermanent in nature, impermanent in nature, devoid of anything to cling to. Allow and observe as the sense experience arises and passes, arises and passes in a constant cycle. But when no attachment of thought is made, when no energy is given, there is no attachment, no thought, no proliferation. Develop this skillfulness of vipassana to cut these insidious occurrence, even at moments when we do not realize. Allow the sense experience to arise and pass, causing no burden within the mind. Within the mind, within the mind, within the mind. Gently, gently, from the nose, guiding your attention to the mouth, to the mouth. Whatever taste that might arise through contact, happening with the coming together of the sense base, the sense object and the sense consciousness. Gently, slowly observe that this coming together only happens because of phassa, contact. It is conditioned. The sense experience itself is dependent upon so many things. It is dependent upon so many factors. It is impermanent, arises and passes, arises and passes, arises and passes. This is the nature of all sense experience. Of all sense experience. Be very gentle but alert. Be very gentle and alert as we guide our attention from the mouth to the kaya, the whole body, sensations giving rise to Vedana, the sense experience predominantly being the coming together of the Kaya Pasada, the Kaya Vijnana, and the sense door, all happening because of Phassa. With every sensation you find, it is conditioned. it is dependent upon so many factors. Each and every sense experience being impermanent arises and passes, arises and passes. Arises and passes. Arises and passes. Let us continue to see this reality throughout the body with the many different sense experiences based on the body arises, gently, 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 being within the present, being within the present. Allowing not for the proliferations to take hold by being truly stable within reality of this very moment, of this very moment. Observe all that arises, conditioned, dependent on so many factors, impermanent, impermanent, impermanent. Gently, gently. Gently. Just as the whole and every physical base, every indriya, and all the sense experiences that arise being conditioned, dependent upon so many factors and impermanent in nature. Some cultivate the understanding that these sense experiences are like the waves of an ocean. Some are weak, some are great and strong, crashing against the shores. But at least we then come to understand that that strength of the wave is determined by many things. The movement of the tectonic plates, the wind, the currents coming in from other oceans, volcano eruptions, so many factors. But we might just only see and comprehend what we see, hear, and feel. This is only part. However, through this part we understand, just like the waves, our sense experiences are conditioned. Whatever indriya it might arise within, however much strength or weakness we could categorize it to be within, this sense experience arises within this nama and rupa. It is conditioned, and it is dependent on many factors to be what it is. But above all, we can understand that whatever sense experience arises, it must, it will come to pass. just as all experiences of the past, all experiences that will be in the future, and all experiences of the present, this too will come to pass. This too shall come to pass. Just as the indriyas, the sense experiences that arise through or within these indriyas, the body with the 6 bases, this body too will one day come to pass. The mind, which became foundation for the sustenance of the mind itself and the body, with the identity that it has taken and the identity it presumes every moment of consciousness, this mind too will come to pass. It passes from identity to body, from body to body, experiencing the different manifestations of sense occurrences. We become mothers, fathers, children, teachers, holy persons, unholy persons. We become divine. We become demons. We stand on 2 legs. We stand on 4 legs. We stand on 8, 6, 16, 100 legs. Like shape-shifters in this cycle of rebirth and death. We take on many different roles and bodies, and in each body we assume ignorantly its permanence. The permanence of the body and the permanence of self within the body, thinking this is mine, this is me, I am this is me. Thinking so some beings coming to realize this repetitive cycle choose the path of enlightenment to only realize that these attempts of self-forming and self-identity become the foundation of our suffering, of us doing wrong and greater wrong to preserve self. An imaginary being created by this hollow insinuation of self. Let us for a moment imagine this mind and body without the burden of self, without having to fight for absolutely everything to uphold me, myself, and I. Without this burden, who would we be? Maybe more relaxed, more at ease. Maybe when we do not cling to past, we are able to live with greater contentment with the present. Maybe when we do not cling to our thoughts of happiness, the happiness further prevails, as there's not much that can disturb the happiness that we feel. This spiritual sense of lightness. Let us gently, with a heart of gratitude, gratitude towards the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Just as we might feel alleviated to a certain extent compared to the time that we clung so deeply and so hard, feel a sense of relief. Just so. Just so. Just so. May all beings with a breath, beings on 2 legs, on 4 legs, with no legs, beings who walk on earth, beings who float in the air, beings experiencing profound bliss, beings in profound sadness. From the highest of the high to the lowest of the low, in sense experiences, may all beings, just as I might wish upon myself, come to realize the true nature of this rat race that we are in, the hamster wheel which takes us nowhere. May we rejoice in the teachings. May we rejoice in the results of the teachings. May we have more energy to practice the teachings. Taking a deep breath in, letting it go. Relax deeper and deeper. Deeper and deeper. Deeper and deeper. And gently, with a heart filled with gratitude and loving kindness, awaken, opening our eyes to the present. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. All right, everyone. Now, I know that we have not had many meditation sessions, mainly because of me, of course. But I hope and wish that all the teachings with the Abhidhamma, with the sutras and the different sessions that we are having inspires you to continue with your commitment to cultivating a daily practice. And so let us take the rest of the 30 minutes that we have to discuss any thing that we're experiencing in our meditation. And of course, yes, anything to do with our meditation. What more can I say? So does anyone have any questions that they might have with regards to the practice? Were we able to see, and I hope that you experience, now when we are, this is exactly what is in Dhamma called, because of the Dharma, the restraint that arises, right? Because of knowledge, the restraint that arises through knowledge. Now I wonder whether I would like to, before explaining what that means, if we are just to take the word itself, does that make sense to you in today's meditation? Because I personally felt, as I was meditating along with you, obviously not as attentively because I was guiding and aware of the people coming into the session, but just the fact of having the Indriya Bhavana, learn the Indriya Bhavana, And just based upon the fact of knowing about the prapanchas and the working of the prapanchas, යම් කිසි සංවරයක් හිතේ තිබ්බද? Right? We might not have practiced or observed the prapanchas for a long time. Regardless, just because you had that in mind, just because we reminded of it, just because we are in the study of it at the moment, did that not bring a sense of restraint when it came to you and your observations during your meditation? Anuma, did it?
Yes, Bante. I think maybe last year, Bante, we had some sessions on Indriya Bhavana once or twice.
Yes.
And then when we practiced Kaya Anupassana, I think I followed you, what you said, I did accordingly. But the understanding wasn't that much. But now, today, it was very, very clear, Bante. I was able to, your guidance of course helped, but I think now we can manage kind of on our own. And something else that I want to share also, Bante, because now we are practicing Buddhanusati daily. That helps a lot to focus and settle quickly. Now, normally it takes, now when I do Anapana also, sometimes it takes about 5 to 6 minutes to sort of get the focus and to settle your mind and all that. But now within 2-3 minutes, you're settled, Bante. I think that helps a lot for this also. And I really did enjoy today's session because through understanding, I did it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you, Bante. Thank you for that, Bante, for you.
No, I mean, absolutely. The fact, I think it is really good that we went into Prapancha right after Indriya Bhavana study, because really you find that what we observe or what we try to do with the Indriya Bhavana is in itself the disattachment from the Prapanchas, to observe that proliferation of mind.
Yeah.
Right? And even in the aranyas, when we go through immense pain, when we go through immense struggle with dukkha vedana, what we always අපි හැම වෙලේම, I know that I did it and I know that a lot of my friends did it as well, they remind themselves of the dukkha vedana that the Buddha might have gone through. Right? Buddhahamduro, if when the Buddha says, this is the amount of tears that have been cried, this is the amount of bones that have accumulated, this is the amount of blood that has been shed. ඒ වෙලාවේ අපි ඉඳගෙන ඉන්න අවස්ථාවේදී අපිට දැනෙන දුක් වේදනාව නිකන් එතනම දිය වෙලා යනවා. Right? This Buddhanussati, then when we practice the Buddhanussati and when our sila improves, right, when our sila improves, what we realize is the Buddhanussati sticks more. ඒ කියන්නේ බුදුහාමුදුරුවන්ගේ ඒ ගමනාගමනේම තමයි අපි ඉන්නේ. So because of that, the strength that we have, we truly become, ඒ කියන්නේ ඒ කාලවල වලදී, when we think about the practice and the way that we practice, ඒ කාලවල වලදී දෙවිවරු කෙරෙහි අපිට අර අමුතු රෙස්පෙක්ටක් හෝ අමුතු බයක් එන්නෙත් නෑ. මොකද දෙවිවරුන්ට වඩා සීලයක් නැත්තම්, දැන් එතන මාන්නය එන්න පුළුවන් එතන. ඒතර දෙවියන්ට වුණත් ඇවිල්ලා වඳින්න පුළුවන් තරම් සීලයක් අපි ගාව තියෙනවා කියන එක මාන්නෙන් නෙමෙයි. ඒක මනසෙන්ම අපිට ඒක වැටහෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ දෙවියෙක්ට වුණත් තුසිත තාවන් තිස්සේ ඉන්න දෙවියෙක්ට වුණත් ඇවිල්ලා වැඳලා සිල් පින් එකතු කරගන්න කුසල් රැස් කරගන්න පුළුවන් සීලයක් මෙතන තියෙනවා කියන එක අපිටම තේරෙනවා මොකද මනස එච්චටම පිරිසුදුයි. right ඒ පිරිසුදුතාවය තව වැඩි වෙන සීලය බුද්ධානුස්සතිය දැන් මෙන්න මේ වගේ දේවල් වලින් මොකක්ද අපි කරන්නේ what are we doing we are taking away the power the prapanchas have.
Yes.
ප්‍රපංච ධර්මයන්ට වැඩ කරන්න තියෙන හෝ හටගන්න තියෙන පදනම අපි විනාශ කර කර ඉන්නේ මේ. right විනාශ කර කර ඉන්නේ. so thank you Anoma. right
Thank you, Bhante. Anumodana for you, Bhante.
and moreover I mean I'm not accepting any of this anumodana than the fact that I am rejoicing and cherishing this dhamma that we all have. And the only thing that sometimes at times that makes me sad and truly sad is the fact of why don't we realize this. ඇයි අපි මෙන්න මේකේ තියෙන වටිනාකම අපිට ඇත්තටම තේරුම් ගන්න මෙච්චර කල් ගියේ දැන් I'm young still I feel like why
That is something that I always think of, Bhante.
yes, you
And
told
never too late, but
Yeah.
yes, Bhante.
absolutely
Bhante. Thank you.
Thank you Anoma. So anyone else with their experiences? Maybe I will call on someone. Let us.
Bhante, I'm trying, but when I reach, I'm going through a difficult, like a regression in my practice.
Okay.
It always happens that when I reach a certain point, I think I'm get so happy that then I tend to go backwards again.
Okay.
So I'm trying again. So I'm going through the sleepiness, all these initial stages again. But so I'm hoping that I'll keep it up this time.
Sure. And but please tell me a little bit more about this process that you're going through, process this regression process that you're going through, let us.
I know I hear that I shouldn't talk about negative experiences, but the initial thing was the floating. I used to initially, at the very start, I used to float and I got scared because I came back with a thump, like this thing. And then all these movements, like the vibrations that happen, it's nearly when the breath is so subtle and when it's about to disappear, like I start these things. Then another thing that happens is the gliding like a plane, like my body starts like a machine. I feel that I'm getting anticipation, like, it's going to happen. I feel it. And then like the engine, I go all, I think I might be going all around the world because it's so fast. I feel the wind and all the exposure to the elements, like. So these things make me stop at the point when 2 or 3 cycles of breath disappear. I stop.
Okay.
So,
Okay. I know exactly what you're going through. You've taken me back in time a bit, actually. And what I can tell you with my personal experience, letters, these when then when we are putting in effort and when we feel as if we are making good stride and progress in the practice, there are certain times within this mind and body complex where the mind and body kicks back. Right. Now this kicking back can happen in a couple of ways. For some, it can be quite it is a manifestation of the upaklesha that we must realize and understand, right? And we realize how sometimes how strong these upakleshas are depending on the way that they kick back. Right? Now, for example, remember letters I told you of my experience when I was at retreat and I got these sort of bowel ailments where I couldn't even walk properly, where I couldn't meditate or continue meditating, right? Where I have to, every time that I meditate, I had to run to the bathroom and my whole system was off, right? That was that was being served by the hand I was serving myself. I had rigidity. The upakleshas hit me back with rigidity. You get what I mean, right?
Yes.
Now, at certain points, we experience this, right? And it almost feels as if we are in a seat sometimes, we are sitting in meditation, right? And the whole world around us, it is like being inside a time traveling machine or some sort of very visual or very sense based machine where we can experience or we go through experiences so fast, right? When we are in such an experience, again, because of the upakleshas, mind you, what do? Ride it. Simply ride it, right? When it gets difficult, if it gets difficult, and when it does, remind yourself of the Buddha. බුදුහාමුදුරු මේක කරා, බුදුහාමුදුරු අපිට මේක කරන්න මාර්ගය ඉගැන්නුවා, right? බුදුහාමුදුරු, then the Buddha will not teach us something that will hurt us, no? Right? Approach the experience in a very dhammic and wisdom based manner. Or if you are approaching it with a sense of rigidity, with a sense of control, like I should not be experiencing this, then the kileshas are powered to hit back with the same way that you're trying to think of it. It'll turn it against you and hit you back with it. Then the anxiety comes, then the fear comes, then you want to wake up, you can't stand it any longer, right? These upakleshas, the way they work is it's so interesting sometimes, because you realize the mind is hitting you back with the same weapon you're using against it, right? That is why that Yoniso Mansikara becomes important, right? Becomes important. Share, enjoy, energize yourself with the power of the Buddha, right?
Yes.
And cultivate that sense of stability, right? With the stability of the Buddha himself. You can. ඒ කියන්නේ බුදුහාමුදුරන්ගේ ඒ තියෙන ශක්තිය තාම මෙන්න මේ සංසාරේ තාම ඒ ශක්තිය තියෙනවා. ඒ හින්දා තමයි අපි තාම පින් දහම් කරන්නේ. අපි මේ වගේ විදිවලට මේ පැය ගණන් අපි දැන් අවුරුදු 3ක් 4ක් අපි how much of our time, right? How much of our time have we given the Dhamma? Why is that? The Buddha's energy is still around us, right? And it is accessible to those who are open to it, right? So absorb that power by simply reminding yourself of the Buddha's feet and share in that power, and you will find yourself in a position of stability. මොන නිකන් අර කතාවක් තියෙන්නේ මාර සේනාටික බුදුහාමුදුරෝ ඉන්න තැනට බුදුහාමුදුරුත් එක්ක ඉන්නවා මාරයා සක්‍රයා ඉන්නවා අනිත් පැත්තෙන් ඉන්නවා I can't remember who. I think only Sakra. Yes, Sakra and the Buddha are together, and then the 5 Marasenas are charging at the Buddha, right? Sakra කොච්චර බය වුණා කිව්වොත් Sakra බුදුහාමුදුරුවෝ දාලා දුවනවා. Right? Sakra බුදුහාමුදුරුවෝ දාලා දුවනවා. Right? Because the Sakra gets scared, But the Buddha stands his ground, doesn't even twitch, right? Doesn't even twitch, right? ඒම බුදුහාමුදුරුවන්ගේ ගෝලයෝ බුදුහාමුදුරුවෝගේ බුද්ධ පුත්‍රයෝ තමයි අපි මොකද අපි ධර්මයට ලැදි හේතුවෙන්. ධර්මයේ කටයුතු කරන්න උත්සාහවත් වෙන හේතුවෙන්. ධර්ම මාර්ගයේ කටයුතු කරන්න අපි කාල වේලාව යොදන හේතුවෙන් බුදුහාමුදුරන් තියෙන ගරුත්වය ශ්‍රද්ධාව හේතුවෙන් අපි බුද්ධ පුත්‍රයෝ වෙනවා. right? ඔතකොට ඉතින් අපේ boss when our boss is powerful the disciples are also by de facto have some power, no? So use that power. It's a bit of nepotism, but that kind of nepotism is okay. Do you understand, Lettuce?
Yes, thank you.
Yes. So use and engage that power even more. And you will find these strides, sometimes we go into deep meditation. And then එකපාරටම සතියක් නැත්නම් දවස් කීපයක් හොඳට නිදා ගන්න කියලා හිතන විට පස්සේ අපි කියලා නිදා ගන්නවා. උතර ඒ කාලවල අපි කරන්නේ දානේ වළඳන එකයි නිදා ගන්න එකයි. උතර කැලේ ඇවිදින්න එකයි. ඒ තුන කරන්නේ. කමක් නැහැ. This is human, no? Right? But realize Lettuce මේ සියල්ලම පදනම් වෙන්නේ ධර්මකාම හිත සහ කුසල් චේතනාව මතයි. තේරුණාද? අපි මේ භාවනාවෙන් උත් අපි through the meditation, through our cultivations and practice, what we try to develop is a skill, no? And just as when we are cultivating skills, just as we are in university or we are learning, we have a break from learning. That is fine, right? But do not attribute that break to a stop. Because some people do and they lose everything. During that break also we realize, okay, I'm going through a period, however, that's fine. Keep on with the kusala cultivation. මනස අයෝනිසෝ මනසිකාරයට යන්නේ නැත්නම්, මනස පස්පව්වලට යන්නේ නැත්නම්, මනස පව්කාර ගතිවලට යන්නේ නැත්නම්, we are fine. We can come back at any time. Respect that break time, which is sometimes something that we need. Okay, Lettuce?
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay. Anyone else? Devika, are you trying to say something?
Bhante. Give me one moment, Bhante. Yes. Because I had to come out from the room because Sarath is sleeping next to me. I didn't want to disturb him. That's why. Actually, today I was able to meditate after a long time, in the sense I have not been able to participate because of my leg,
Yes.
because of the surgery, and it still bothers me a lot. And so today I was very happy being able to participate in meditation, but I was seated in the bed. And so it was, very refreshing, Swami answered. After a long time, like I really was able to get back into meditation. And so now listening to you, motivated me more. I think on a daily basis, I have to, practice. I do the Buddhanusati thing, always. If I'm doing some work, even now, this comes automatically into my mind, the Buddhanusati. So I keep chanting, and sometimes I don't get to do it much because I go for my therapy sessions, all these, so many things that I'm involved in.
Yeah.
So at home, I have to do, I have to bend this stupid leg to an angle of 120 degrees. but I do only 110 yet. So that is another thing. So maybe I should, when I have this pain, I should meditate on pain to get over it. What do you think, Bante?
Well, meditation. I have met a couple of Olympians actually who've won medals at the Olympics, who use meditation after serious injury and injuries that they have thought that would put them off from their training entirely.
Yes.
I have met people and people who've actually done it where they have gone through excruciating pain sometimes with recovery,
Yes.
used meditation to overcome the pain, right,
Mm-hmm.
and recovery. But before we go there, I would also say our pain, our kileshas, our upakleshas again hits you with the same spoon that you try to work with it, right?
Okay. Yes.
So we know we are sort of handling a dough or a sort of a certain type of cream or whatnot. We are not supposed to use metal spoons, right? Metal spoons injures the dough,
Yes.
right? We use a wooden spoon, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Just so the way we think about the body reflects through the body,
Okay.
right? ඔතොට එතන when we have when we have certain irritations with regards to the limitations of the body,
Yes.
the body becomes more rigid,
Okay.
right? So having a sense of metta towards the body through this process makes the body more malleable.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Right? So Yonso Mansikara, the Yonso Mansikara that you have towards the body strengthens the body. Right? I have a devotee who is at the moment with her mother. The mother was diagnosed with a terminal cancer. The mother is quite old, in her late 70s, late 70s or even 80s. I'm not sure, I can't remember. But yesterday she spoke to me because we were in touch all throughout. We did pink hammers, harak nidas kara, mata bhavanaval kara, a lot of things, right? And of course, now these days, because the daughter has flown from the UK to Bahrain, where she is, the mother and the brother. So the mother had the whole together. The mother had a very lovely holiday season and Christmas and all of that, and they realized that in her sort of reports, the levels. I mean, she was given literally 4 months to live, right? And she realizes now, studying the reports, both the children are doctors, and they realize that all the sort of the cancer, sort of the, what do you say, the indicators have come down to normal levels, right? To normal
Wonderful. Yes.
to normal levels, and I would say that of course they're doing some treatment, all of these things, not Western treatment, but Ayurveda treatment and all of that, because Western doctors want to do surgery. But happy the mother being happy, her children are all together, the grandchildren are there, the children are there, yeah. So you can imagine how a mother would be happy, no, right? And her her medical reports show it, right?
Yes.
This
Amazing.
body, this body, this body is a very interesting phenomenon, right? Have metta towards it. මනස හයි වුණේ ගමම්ම මනස හයි වෙන්නේ කොහොමද? අකුසලයෙන්. ඒ අකුසල විදියට, ඒ කියන්නේ අපි අකුසල විදියට අපි කය දිහා බලනවා නම්, with irritation, with all of these frustration, all the body becomes harder. Passion with metta, the body becomes more malleable. right? Treat the body like you are treating a child who is sick, your child who might be sick. You know what I mean?
Yes.
With that compassion, you will find that you will be able to bend to 120 easier with
Thank
that. So there's 10
Sorry,
degrees,
sorry.
10 degrees more. Okay, 10 degrees more. So continue along that.
Yes, Bhante.
Yeah, continue along
Yes.
that. And you can use your mindfulness to observe and not react, or to get better at not reacting as well. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Sadhu Bhante. Thank you.
All right, everyone. Does anyone else have any questions that they would like to ask? So, whilst we continue with the Buddhanusati, of course, the daily practice of mindfulness becomes very important. Meditation becomes very important. So, try to keep a daily or commit to a daily practice, which becomes very, very important, everyone. To realize sometimes even before the vipassana, to realize the nature of this hamster wheel that we are in. And we truly are, right? We truly are. If we are, I was telling a friend yesterday who was complaining about something, right? Who she's also quite into Dhamma and all of that. And I told her, she was like, what have I done in my sansara or whatever? And I said, if you are crying over something, right, if it is a man or a woman, or how bad our relationships are, or how our children might have turned out, or whatever reason, right, for property or the loss of property, whatever it is, the only thing that we should be crying about is the fact that we have been so foolish to not attain nirvana before this. Because everyone, we live in a society where it is very difficult to pull back, right? Where it is very difficult to pull back, because our lives are so dependent upon, you might not be earning now, but your children are, right? And you have to support your children, right? A lot of the reasons for stress in our life are the things that are connected to materialistic things, whether we like it or not, right? We have to do the grocery shopping. It's not like we can just walk out and pluck fruit and vegetables from our back gardens, right? We have to have heating on, we have to have this and that, we have to. These have become basic necessities. Now see how deeply rooted in these times, we are so deeply rooted to so many things in samsara, in this world, without which, you can't even drive a car without the MOT, right? How many things do you have to look at? මේක තමයි මේ සංසාරේ තියෙන අර අන්තෝ ජතා බහි ජතා ජතායි ජහිතා පදා කියලා කියන්නේ මේකටයි. බුදුහාමුදුරන්ගේ කාලේ පිරිහීම මෙච්චර තිබෙන්නේ නැති හින්දා බුදුහාමුදුරන්ගේ කාලේ තිබ්බේ පිරිහීම මීට වඩා අඩුයිනේ. ඒ හින්දා it is a bit easier. In our time, and as our time progresses, it will become harder and harder to pull back from this hamster wheel, this cycle, because our breath itself is tied to everything that we have. There will come a time where we won't be able to breathe free air. We won't be, because the air will be so polluted, and we will have to have equipment around our faces to breathe. And this equipment, or having this equipment, means you must earn, right? You see, the fresh air that we breathe. Now, for example, you take your water, everyone. The water that we are drinking is absolutely useless. It is not like the water before. Actually, we shouldn't be drinking from the taps. Water from taps have been proven to be acidic, which actually eats up the body rather than helping the body. So then what do? then we have to get a Kangen machine, for example, which is close to 2,000 pounds. A Kangen machine is 2,000 pounds. It separates the acid from the water and makes it alkaline. So it's actually good for you. It takes away the hardness, all of these things, right? Now see, if we want to drink water, proper water, then we must be able to afford a 2,000 pound machine. Now see everyone, make a thamai. I'm just saying this to show you an example of how this sansara ties us in. පිරිහීම මේ කාලයවල් වල වැඩි වෙන්න we become even more knotted in, right? So පුළුවන් තරම්, the meditation helps us to maintain a certain standard of mind where it allows us to still practice whilst dealing with the time that we are in. This meditation is so important. අර ප්‍රපංච ධර්මයන් හින්දා තමයි අපිට භාවනා කරන්න හිතෙන්නේ නැති සමහරවල් වෙලාවට. We are so engaged with the world, right? So think about that. Think about that. And I hope this inspires deeper practice, more meaningful practice, and of course commitment towards a daily practice, right? Therwan Sarna, everyone. I will see you all tomorrow for the class, and have a wonderful rest of the day.
Thank you, Bhante. Therwan Sarnai.
Therwan Sarnai.
Therwan Sarnai.